Bro, you ask like Hasanabi heads like August 21st, they wouldn't even have this kind of take on it. They would not be like, oh, this is such an impactful moment in the history of this country, you know? The fuck is August 8th? That was the Mar-a-Lago raid? Oh, okay. There you go. They've changed everything in this country, man. Straight up. New 9/11 just dropped. Yeah, it's 8/8. Doesn't have the same oomph, though. Let's talk about it, baby. Let's talk about George Santos, okay? That is who changed my life. George Santos dared to dream. That was his biggest dare, and perhaps his biggest con yet. George Scamtos is back in the news. He said he would donate his $174,000 paycheck. This is how he reacted. Now, George Santos, as you guys know, also goes by Anthony DeValder, George the Dog Killer, George the Drag Queen, the Slay Queen, Scam King, Hustlers University, all of it, okay? Also goes by Katara. That's his drag name. Let's
Video into out front of embattled Republican Congressman George Santos, making even more questionable claims. This time in a Brazilian podcast, which was just released, but actually was recorded 2 weeks before his laundry list of lies about his education, work history, family life, religion were first exposed, right? So this was back when he didn't know anybody knew that all that was false. So these new claims we're finding out include that he was mugged in Manhattan, which an NYPD source says there is no record of, that he survived an assassination attempt, and that he'd donate his entire congressional salary to charity, which today he refused to say he would still do. Eva McKent is out front.
Can you tell us if you lied on your financial disclosure report to Congress?
Embattled Congressman George Santos back at work on Capitol Hill today, dodging tough questions from reporters as new revelations about public claims he's made continue to pile up.
George, primeiro lugar, obrigado.
The latest coming from a recently released interview with a Brazilian podcast that was taped in December, shortly after Santos won election in New York's 3rd District. Santos claimed in the interview, done in Portuguese, that he was mugged on 5th Avenue in New York City in the summer of 2021 as he was walking out of a commercial building in broad daylight.
They robbed me, took my bag, my shoes, and watch.
But a source with the New York Police Department tells CNN there's no record Santos reported the alleged crime. The lack of a report doesn't mean the alleged incident didn't take place, but...
Dude, come on, man. This guy is fucking, I mean, every day, dude. Every day, dude. Every day. What's going on with him? Like, he literally just cannot stop himself from lying? Yes, he cannot. Like, it's not even a joke. He's just straight up cannot. I have now been enshrined in late night TV history with all these impersonations, but they're all terrible so far. John Lovitz is supposed to be the one of the greatest comedians of all time, and that was embarrassing. For him, not me. These comedians need to step their game up. Maybe the source material was weak. Now he's duking it out with Trixie Mattel. What the fuck? Clearly, you know all about weak acting skills, Trixie Mattel. I'm not an actor. I was young and I had fun at a festival. Oh, shit! What a ratio! It's all good. I won my race against the fan favorite, too. I mean, dude, what the fuck? What is... Dude, this is... First of all, duking it out with drag queens on the timeline like this is the gayest thing you can do, which we all know. I mean, this is the drama that we need from George Santos. It's the best. It's awesome. It's perfect. And he is not beating the drag allegations, okay? Straight up. I mean, he didn't beat him at any meaningful capacity, regardless, because, like, you know, he was caught in 4K or maybe 1P, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he's just, there's nothing more drag than fucking getting sassy with a drag queen on the timeline, okay? But he can't, it's just, he just can't stop himself. At this point, you're being ableist, okay? He's a pathological liar who is physically incapable of not lying.
But it draws further scrutiny of the claim made by Scamtos, who has already admitted to lying about key parts of his biography. Another claim Scamtos made in the interview that's raising eyebrows, that he survived an assassination attempt.
We have suffered life attack, assassination attempt, threatening letter, having to have security guards and police escorts standing in front of our house.
But Scamtos did not go into any further details or provide any corroborating evidence. In the same podcast, Scamtos suggested he was living comfortably, enough to make a pledge to donate his congressional salary to charity. He declined to answer questions about that vow on Tuesday.
In the podcast, you said you donate your salary. Do you still plan to do that?
The 34-year-old did say he would cooperate with a potential upcoming House ethics investigation.
Will you cooperate with that investigation?
Absolutely.
Scamtos wasn't among his colleagues at the new member reception this evening at the White House, though he was invited.
I just didn't have the time. It was on my schedule. Sorry.
What are you doing instead?
Constituent services.
Scamtos already facing questions about his future plans, including whether he'll run for re-election.
What? Bro, how about he run from the authorities? It's going to be real funny when they actually do conduct an investigation into how he funded his campaign, and then he has to like fly away to a different country or something, absolutely fucking ruining the already marginal Republican control that they have over the House of Representatives. Of course, he's not going to be flying to Brazil, let's be real, because, he will get arrested. But there are plenty of other countries.
So early for that question. I just got here, guys.
And Aaron, I spent the day asking Scamtos' congressional staff about the many claims he made in that podcast interview. Despite my best efforts, did not get a response. Meanwhile, the Concerned Citizens of New York 3, that's a bipartisan group organized, though, by a Democrat. They're continuing to turn up the heat, now calling on Republican Conference Chair Elise Stefanik, their fellow New Yorker, to use her leadership position in the GOP to push Scamtos out. Aaron?
Eva, thank you very much. And I want to go now to Flora Thompson DeVoe. She is the director of research for Radio Novello and produced that podcast interview that you just heard with George Santos. So, Flora, I really appreciate your time. And I guess I want to start off with, we laid out the timing, right? You did this interview with Santos after he won, but before the world knew that all these things were lies. But you heard him telling you all these stories. What were you thinking as he told you this?
Yeah, that we did. The story was pitched to us at Novello by a reporter at Piauí magazine, João Batista Jr., and he and we were really interested in Santos as a character, as this person who came from the background that he came from, who arrived at the values that he arrived at, who's made this, impressive, has had this impressive career, or had at that point in time. So we sat down for an interview with him. And when we came out of it, I thought we didn't have a story. It was sort of a blend of cliches, platitudes, these really unsatisfying talking points. João was particularly interested in George Santos's comfortable